The first shout out goes to Christopher Owens. Hey bros, if you're checking to see if you got a shout out, then watch the video all the way to the end because that's where the rest of the shout outs are.
What's up guys? Black Ops sent us this BR45 for free, so we're going to be opening it up and checking it out. Now by the way, make sure you stay till the end of the video because we're going to be testing this on some zombies. Here's the front of the box. There isn't very much. It's pretty much just a cardboard box with a sticker on it that gives some information about the gun, and there's nothing on the back. The whole box is covered in some plastic wrap that you can open with a pair of scissors and peel off. Then the cardboard box can simply open like this. Revealing the owner's manual, the pistol, and some bubble wrap. So, go ahead and I'm just gonna, oh, okay. So we also have a little booklet containing some other Black Ops guns. And we have a warning card and a warranty card too. I'm just gonna skim through this manual real quick just to make sure I know everything. So here's what the pistol looks like. It's a simple pistol that uses a 12-gram CO2 cartridge and is semi-automatic. There's a safety on the right-hand side. If you push it backwards, you're able to fire the gun. If you push it forwards, you can still pull the trigger, however, nothing will happen. There's some actually pretty nice iron sights on here that look pretty good with white dots on them. On the left side of the gun we have a magazine release which will pop a magazine out when pressed, and this magazine holds 15 rounds. It's very small and very simple to load. You pull the follower all the way to the bottom and then it'll lock in place like that, and then you take your speed loader and load the BBs in through here, and when you're done you just hit this little button on the bottom and your magazine will be loaded. And by the way, this takes 6mm BBs. To load the CO2 cartridge, you remove the magazine first, make sure the gun's on safe, pull back the pistol grip, and then there'll be a little knob here that you can turn, and you can loosen it and load the CO2 cartridge in head first from the left side, then tighten the knob, close it, and your CO2 should be loaded in. The gun does have a Picatinny rail on the bottom you can use to mount different lights and lasers. Orange tip on the top, as most airsoft guns do have, and it seems like a pretty comfortable gun. It's got some texturing on the grip and it has some grooves for your fingers. By the way, this is non-blowback and the hammer does not work. It is just a simple CO2 gun. Now, it did give us some FPS readings. On this box, it said when using .2 BBs, there's a maximum FPS of 400. However, on the manual, it says the initial BB speed, which is the FPS right when it comes out of the barrel, is between 280 to 345 FPS with .2 gram BBs. So the highest you're gonna get is 400, but it's most likely gonna be around 280 to 345, according to the box and manual. So I'm pretty sure that's all there really is to say about the gun, so let's go ahead and shoot it. So here's a better view on how to put the CO2 in. So take out the magazine and you just kind of pull back the pistol grip like that, and then you loosen this little screw right here, and that's pretty good. You put the CO2 in on the left side of the gun, head facing up, tighten the screw, and it's going to make a little hissing noise, and you keep tightening it till it stops making that noise. Alright, this one makes a really quiet hissing noise, so it's hard to hear, but it stopped. So now I'm gonna test fire it, aim it in a safe direction. Alright, there we go. It's not a very loud gun, but you'll notice a little puff of smoke come out. So that's how you can tell that CO2 is loaded properly. So here's how to load your gun. You're just gonna remove the magazine and take the follower and pull it all the way down, and it should lock in place. The magazine holds 15 rounds and there's a little loading hole right here. You just take your speed loader. Oh, this is one. This might be the one that has problems sometimes. There we go. And just load the mag up until you're full. There we go. So what you can do now is press this little button to release the follower. And whenever you do that, you can load the mag in. All right, so we're gonna take a test shot, make sure it's loaded properly. All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and chrono it. Now I am using Black Ops 0.2 gram BBs. So turn on the chrono here. We're just gonna shoot a few rounds. 317, 320. By the way, we're measuring this in FPS. 308, 312, 310, 314, 313. All right, shot a few rounds. I had an average FPS of about 313, and the highest I had was about 320, the lowest I had was about 308. So about 310, 315 FPS on average. All right guys, so now what you've been waiting for, we're gonna be shooting this zombie at about 25 feet away, and we have a lot of different camera perspectives for you to look through. Okay, now let's try 50 feet. All right, now let's try this at 75 feet. So here are my final thoughts. Overall, I think it's actually a really great gun if you're using it just as a regular old secondary, because it's pretty accurate, and if you're shooting someone up close, it works completely fine. Now, if you're gonna try to shoot someone farther away, it's gonna be harder because either this doesn't have a hop-up or the hop-up doesn't work very well on this, but you're not really gonna be shooting people far away with a pistol. It's great if you like something simple and practical. Obviously, it's not very realistic compared to some other ones, but if you just like things that are easy to use, it's great because you just load it up and pull the trigger. It's a simple non-blowback gas gun. It has a good magazine capacity. The CO2 cartridge lasts a really long time, and it's all plastic, so it's really light and easy to move around. It's overall a great gun. The only downside I can really think to it is it has a really long and heavy trigger pull. But besides that, everything is great. And it also has really good iron sights too. All right guys, it's shout out time.
The next shout out goes to Vulcan Airsoft. The next shout out goes to Eric Tucker. The next shout out goes to Epi Lente. The next shout out goes to Gunnar Durbin. The next shout out goes to Sangma Sangma. The next shout out goes to Robert Wade. The next shout out goes to King of Lols. The next shout out goes to Denzel Amaya. The next shout out goes to Gorilla Lover 1. The next shout out goes to Venus Apollinario. The next shout out goes to Vance Hornbaker. The next shout out goes to Silas Jones. The next shout out goes to Ghost 579. The next shout out goes to Mr. Dreamer. The next shout out goes to Charlotte Chin. The next shout out goes to Roy Barreto. The next shout out goes to MyVR2. The next shout out goes to Anthony Leva. The next shout out goes to Alonzo M28. The next shout out goes to Isaiah Abdullahad. The next shout out goes to David Witt. The next shout out goes to Unknown Player. The next shout out goes to Jai Bruton. The next shout out goes to Jed Turner. The next shout out goes to Elias Berger. The next shout out goes to Z Butters. The next shout out goes to Liz Jam. The next shout out goes to Elite Shepherd. The next shout out goes to Chrissy Boy. The next shout out goes to Wargaming Airsoft. The next shout out goes to Lo Capel. The next shout out goes to South Erupt Gaming. The next shout out goes to Robert Montesinos. The next shout out goes to Devion So Cool. The next shout out goes to Boo Na Naz. The next shout out goes to Reese Hazmagaj. The next shout out goes to Da Police 45. The next shout out goes to Some Guy. The next shout out goes to Gabe Corrigan. The next shout out goes to Riley Phillips. The next shout out goes to Cray 202. The next shout out goes to JCTV. The next shout out goes to Lil Raman the Great. The next shout out goes to Josie Sangalang. The next shout out goes to Risky Robot. Bros, if you want a shout out, then go to the community tab on our channel and go to the most recent post and type I want a shout out.
Wow. Now take off your mask. Mika, what is Dada doing? Take off your mask so Mika sees you. It's Dada! Nicholas.
If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button and share it with your friends. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications bell. Be happy, peace out.